We should call the police so that they can deport you. There's a free transport for you to go home.
When I greet you, when I Asian Chiļdrèñ Born tax, Baba to us Nandi Pampiri was a man hand. Justice. Shit. Damn it. This is too much.
I tell you said you use your passport to come. So you said to me, you are waiting for the transport for the police to come. Which police are you waiting for? You said you are waiting for transport.
But you can't, Mamela, you have to wait for buses, but not in here. They should take you.
There's a place to wait, not here.
No, we need your name.
Please, we are not fighting. So do you think that a child of a refugee or a child of an asylum seeker is an asylum seeker or is a refugee? Because this child was born here in South Africa. Do you think that this child deserves to be treated like an asylum seeker? Because this one did not run away from the war. He was born here. Or he's not a refugee. He was born here. How do you think? So tell us your view about this. Because sometimes we call our children that they're asylum seekers, but they will tell you that we did not run away from the war. We were born here. So how can you call us that we are asylum seekers? And why do we use asylum seekers as our papers or refugees status as our papers? And then sometimes we're speechless. We don't know what to answer. What can be your answer on this matter?
I'm a 21-year-old woman born in Cape Town to foreign parents. Both my parents came to South Africa separately, and once here, applied individually for permanent residencies in the early 2000s. My mother received her permanent residency 8 months after I was born. At the time of my birth, she was under a work visa. Therefore, I received an unabridged birth certificate. When Home Affairs told her and my father is that because I'd already been categorized under a foreign birth, when I turned 18, I would come and declare myself to Home Affairs officers, and only then would I receive a South African birth certificate and a South African ID. But obviously that was not the case. Growing up, I was quite naive to a number of things that required me to be documented. I didn't really see what was happening behind the scenes. Because my parents are documented, I never actually had any legal problems or documentation problems until I got to matric and it was time for me to write my exams. I personally thought it was as simple as going to Home Affairs and being helped. In my mind, we were good people who had done nothing wrong, so there's no reason for us to be turned away. Only then did my mother find out, and I find out she was supposed to have applied for permanent residency with me in the application. However, at the time of her application, I did not exist. Remember, she was only born 8 months after her mom received her PR. Home Affairs' next point of action was to threaten to take away my mom's permanent residency, citing a fraudulent application. When she lodged a complaint about the misinformation she received, we were then approached by an immigration lawyer, a known one, who further wasted 2 years of our time. We would still be with him if there wasn't intervention from the Director General of a Home Affairs branch, who told us the man is a fraud. Eventually, we were directed to people who had seen and worked with others in our situation, and they helped us with what steps were needed to be followed and what type of application I needed to submit. I can say the most painful part of this entire experience was watching my friends experience their young adulthood, watching them go off to universities, get their licenses, get their first jobs, and just walk around like they belong because of their status, and not thinking, where can I go? And what can I do? And is this place gonna ask me for an ID? I genuinely wanted to be at another place, but now that all my friends recently graduated, I'm confronted with the fact that I'm years behind.
A child can be born in South Africa, raised in South Africa, have a South African mother, and they can still get told to go back home, that they don't belong in South Africa, only because their father is a non-South African. I'm trying to understand, why does this bother people so much? Some of these kids, they change schools more than once because of bullying. You find young kids, innocent children, being asked if their father is selling drugs, if their mother married their father for papers, and getting told to go back home when South Africa is their home. These children do not have to choose between both parents. They are as South African as much as they are Zimbabwean. or as much as they are Cameroonian, Congolese, Nigerian, Ethiopian, Somali. I mean, in this case, they know who their father is, and they have relationships with their fathers. This is not a dig at anyone. Honestly, I would like to know, for those who are so triggered, why are you so triggered because a child embraces both their heritage? Why does it make you feel so uncomfortable?
Sanbon, you know, I truly feel sorry for children that are born of foreign nationals who were born in South Africa. Obviously, they are not South African citizens, you know, because of a child born by foreign nationals is still a foreigner, and they should take their parents' nationality, unless, of course, one of the parents is South African. But I truly feel sorry for them. I think in this whole deportation thing, I truly feel sorry for them because the only country they know is South Africa, where things are working, where there are opportunities and a number of other things. The infrastructure, the systems are working perfectly. To wake up one day and having to go back either to Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, DRC, Congo, Nigeria, it is a traumatic experience. Trust me, it will be the worst thing that can ever happen to those children. And I'm not saying, you know, they shouldn't be deported, but it's the parents who made the mistake of coming into this country and getting documentation fraudulently. But it is the saddest thing to see some of these children going into a country they know nothing about, where nothing functions. The infrastructure is dilapidated. It'll be a total shock to their system because they've forever grown up in a country where things are functional. Nonetheless, we have to fix law and order in this country. And as we always say, despite the narrative that has been created, South Africa is not anti-immigration. South Africa is anti-illegal immigration. And if people go back to their countries, fix their papers, they are most welcome to come back. Like how we travel to other countries using our passports. Nobody is forbidden to come to South Africa, but you must do so legally. I wish you all the best.
If you are from Soweto, chances are that you are a grandchild to a migrant. But let me explain. But before I do so, I want you to understand the conversation levels up here. Not down here. Up here. Johannesburg was formed in 1886 through the gold rush, and it was very dependable on migrant workers at the time, of which they would go work in the mine. I mean, they even formalized companies such as the Witwatersrand Association, which I don't remember the full name, to hire these migrants to come to South Africa to mix with the locals inside the mines. These migrants came from countries like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Botswana, and Eswatini. But through labor, unfair labor and segregation, they were pushed into townships. These townships were not called Soweto at the time. There were smaller townships like Kliptown, Midlands, Dube, Orlando. Hey, shout outs to the champions. And they all settled around those areas in the late 1800s to the early 1900s. Combined, these townships were called Soweto. But let's get the nuance. And before we get into the nuance, please understand the conversations up here, not down here. Johannesburg was established in 1886. South Africa was later established in 1910 formally by colonial rule, which the xenophobes defend through tooth and nail. So the people back then were not called foreigners in the modern sense. Countries like Mozambique were not called Mozambique. Countries like Zimbabwe were not called Zimbabwe. Not even South Africa was called South Africans. But I want to say something that is really important. Governance is important. Yes, the borders are there. We have to make sure that nobody just jumps through them as they wish, like it's your grandfather's backyard. But do you know what is your grandfather's? Likely you. If you check your family tree, chances are that you are a child of a migrant.